I've been gaining more and more experience with this physical health thing. I find that all the pieces are kind of tying themselves together. I spent a lot of time in the what I'd call, let's say, fitness realm of action and movement. Then I shifted to the mental aspect of thought, contemplation, therapy, mental stuff, right? I did a lot of videos and stuff about that. Then I switched to the emotional environment, which is a lot softer with multiple strokes and colors and feelings and flowing stuff. From there, I switched to, or went back to, in a way, the physical health aspect, which has less to do with the action itself, but more of the experience within that action. And this experience is very important. The body must interact with it with the senses, therefore making it an actual experience. All those things being said, now that we're here, I see that the function of what I call the emotional system, which is going to be mental health, emotional health, and physical health working together, I see that um, it really does tie to the fact of the experiencing of a person. Now, when they're all together, the experience adds up. Our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions all equal each other, and therefore we get the right conclusion, if you will. The thing that we feel, the thing that we thought about, and the thing is brought to life in our actions, therefore having its results. Now, to put that more into a bit of a tangible thing, we'd say that if one of these elements of health is off, therefore not getting proper feedback or getting overstimulated in a way or understimulated, then we will have misperception of what happened, right? Meaning that there might be a person who is extremely smart but misses a lot of social cues. We might have somebody who's extremely sociable but has a hard time getting down to the point of things. We might have somebody who's super feeling artistic and expressive but doesn't quite get to the action of it all. We'd say these are three different kind of specialties in their way, but they're not balanced. Together they look a lot more unified. So we'd say that what unifies these environments, these elements of health, we'd say a challenge unifies these things. Generally, we only learn from hard challenges, but there are good challenges in the sense of ideals, of works of art that we're trying to achieve, of things that we find beautiful and trying to move towards. These are also uniting events. These uniting events allow us to pool all our resources and try to attempt this larger thing. In attempting something that's larger than us, we must get out of our own mental blocks or mental barriers. We must push past those to obtain this beautiful thing. And in doing so, we unite even more skills and they become more versed in experience now that we've gotten rid of some of those limitations. Now, because originally we are trying to find in this kind of system the correct emotion. So to put that into perspective, we'd say at one point I had to take on a challenge. There was many things happening. So when I took on this challenge, I didn't pretty much have all the resources needed to do so. So my brain came up with a solution. If we don't have this much strength or this much time, then we must do this. And I did that action. But this is in place of the original emotion that should have been there, right? But lacking time and strength, I came up with a pseudo solution. This is not okay. This will only work for that time, and there will be stress, pressure, a corrective force pushed in on us. And we will start to feel at some point that this is not quite adequate. We still are missing something. And in this way, the pursuit of restoring this emotion starts. The functioning of the emotional system really kicks in here. And as it kicks in and we start to find more experiences driven by emotion. So we might have the emotion, let's say in that situation, of confidence. And I didn't have the confidence at the time, but now I'm seeing people I find confident. I'm really drawn to them. I'm seeing activities that I was kind of too afraid to do before, and I'm wanting to do them. We think of these just as singular things, but they are pieces of experience needed to regain this emotion, if you will, of confidence. Now, as I gain this thing and it's replaced by the actual thing itself, we have a new challenge. We can't use a different emotion to overcome that. We've got the right one. Okay, so what's then going to be your motivator? In this system previous, it was the lack of having this emotional origin thing, the real thing there. Now what's going to orient us? Well, it has to switch to something greater than the emotion itself. What could that possibly be? As far as I have seen so far, it is what we call the potential of the individual, the ability to do greater than you currently were doing. And because we've had more of a restoration of who we are, but we found it by going through the process. We've experienced gaining this thing back. We become stronger than we were before. And therefore our ideas and our creativity have more passion and flavor behind them. And this allows us to push and have ideas and dreams that we can go towards that are even larger than we currently are. So this is what we're going to call the potential factor, moving towards the ability to gain more health as being more whole ourselves. So as we do that, we start to be drawn in to the human environment of health. And this is where all the other pieces of experience that are needed to gain, to sustain our potential or to move towards our potential is. So just like we can move it from an environment of cold to warm, this is the exact same thing. Where you're moving from a lack of nourishing environment or an environment motivated by pursuit into an environment that is more warm. It has now our nutrients. It is now this place of having, and therefore we now pursue something greater. And this will bring about a lot more unity in the person. We won't be squandering our energy in 1,000 things, hoping to find who we are in them. We will be dedicated to the thing that is specific to us, our personal talent, our personal passion, this thing that drives us to do far more work than the average person would do for that thing. If you find dance beautiful, you won't just dance once a week. You'll do it several times. You won't just do the action. You'll pierce into the thought of it. After going through the thought, you feel this is not quite enough. I need to make the thought a feeling. I want to portray what's really happening in these movements. And then we hit that level. And then in that we say, well, can we do any better? Can we pool these things to have a more striking effect on what we want to achieve? Can we make it more beautiful? And then we'd say, yes. We have to go into now the kind of moral of it all. It's not just the action, it's a little bit more than that, and we have to be able to express that. We have to embody it to do so. So we become an action-oriented person to this feeling that we want to pursue through action, and we call that dance. And in that way, we can strike at the heart of the people that are watching us. They can be moved by the thing that it is that we do, and therefore inspire health in others to do greater things than they currently are doing. We have shown them beauty, they have received it, and they are motivated to gain more. This would be kind of what we're talking about when we talk about the human environment of health, and therefore almost if you follow the emotions of what I just said, the feeling of moving towards potential. Yeah, I think that's how I put it. So I really wanted to give some organization to the fact of the emotional system being more of a unity thing, what challenge really is. I had a video previous on stress. Stress is more of a balancing factor than it is negative. If we don't adapt to, if we don't understand stress, then it will increase so that we start doing things about it. So we start understanding it. So we start trying to figure out how to get rid of it, if you will, or to balance it. I'm not going to go more into the stress thing. You can watch that other video. But yeah, I really wanted to kind of give form to all those things. As I'm approaching, I think, some of the end factor of this physical health thing, and it's leading me more to what the human environment of health feels like, and what pieces would be there, what things we'd see from a person who is in the human environment of health. And I might do a video on that later. So stay tuned, and thank you for listening.